We are finally approaching race day for the first time in 2022, and we have learned a lot from both tests in Barcelona and Bahrain. So that begs the question, which team ranks as the fastest and which team is down at the bottom of the order? It was a difficult decision to put Williams at 10, but someone has got to be there, and it is unfortunate for the Grove-based team. They have looked reliable, except for day 2 in Bahrain as Nicholas Latifi's brakes overheated and exploded. The team essentially lost a whole day of testing due to this issue. They have looked reliable, but they haven't looked like they're going to dial in a fast lap time yet, rather opting for the more reliable long run pace. However, I don't think Williams will struggle like they have in 2020 and 2021, as point scoring places will become more frequent for drivers Alex Albon and Nicholas Latifi. Alfa Romeo looked lost in Barcelona. The car didn't look nice to drive and it suffered a series of mechanical issues which hampered the team's running at the first test. However, Valtteri Bottas looked good in Bahrain with a lot of decent pace set on heavy fuel loads, and they looked better when the car had less fuel in it. The same can be said for rookie Guan Yu Zhou, who's getting used to life in F1 and looked relatively solid as he drove the new Alfa Romeo. It was difficult to separate Alfa Romeo and Williams on this list, as either of them could have been 10th, but I think we'll see a good fight between them this season in the constructors. Alpine have not looked strong in testing this year. The car looks difficult to drive and it's had its fair share of gremlins in testing, especially in Barcelona with Fernando Alonso's engine going pop on the final day. It looks like the team are really missing track time, as they missed a good chunk of it in Barcelona and some in Bahrain with little car issues. So Alpine are going to have to play catch up to get into that midfield fight again at the start of this season. Aston Martin could be higher on this list, but I don't think 7 is as bad as it may seem. The midfield is very close this year, and Aston Martin look like they've progressed the car nicely from the first test in Barcelona to the second test in Bahrain. The car looked difficult to drive in Barcelona, but it made some solid improvements in Bahrain. A few issues with the car didn't stop them from working through their program, and it looks like they'll be a big contender in the midfield fight this season. Who would have guessed it? HAAS are not bottom of this list. Things were disastrous for the team in Barcelona. The car did hardly any laps, and with the news of Nikita Mazepin and sponsor Uralkali's future in doubt with the team, there was no sign of improvement for HAAS. However, with Mazepin and the title sponsor now gone, they have drafted in former driver Kevin Magnussen alongside Mick Schumacher, and the team finally look like they've got a good solid driver pairing to shoot them up the grid. Granted, the team did suffer cargo issues with freight not arriving to the Bahrain track on time due to delays, but they got this time back on each of the days in Bahrain. And to everyone's amazement, Kevin Magnussen set the fastest time of day 2 in testing. The car looked good with less fuel in it. Its long run pace is promising. This is what the team exactly needed after a difficult start to the year. We could see HAAS fighting in the midfield yet again, which is great for the team and also great for the sport. 5th on this list is AlphaTauri. They look good with Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda and have developed a car that can enable both drivers to fight for positions that was similar to last season. Gasly will be hoping to add to his podium tally, and Tsunoda will be looking to be more consistent compared to his 2021 season. McLaren have a quick car, but they did suffer a lot of issues with it in Bahrain. The issue was down to overheating brakes. They did manage to part fix the issue, but time will tell if they've truly fixed the gremlins, and also not having Daniel Ricciardo in the car due to the Australian having COVID-19 wasn't ideal. McLaren will hopefully fix the issue and will be fighting for podiums and wins this season. Mercedes aren't the benchmark this year. Well, not yet anyway. The team looks solid in Barcelona, but they brought a radically new design car with virtually no side pods in Bahrain, which wowed the F1 paddock. But the main issue with the Mercedes seems to be the struggling with porpoising down the straights. The car doesn't look stable compared to the Red Bull and Ferrari, but we know Mercedes can turn things around fast, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see them fighting for the win this weekend in Bahrain. Red Bull led off the shackles in the final day of testing in Bahrain as Max Verstappen went fastest with their new updated side pods. Barcelona was a good testing ground for Red Bull as they looked solid and had reliability on their side. The word to describe Red Bull is planted. They look good in the corners, which is a key thing for these 2022 cars. The top 2 teams on this list are doing this exceptionally well. And speaking of the team at the top, Ferrari, could this be their year? At the start of the season, they looked like they could be the team to beat. They look super consistent, reliable running, and the car looks fast. Both in Barcelona and Bahrain, both Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz said that the car feels great. They have made big improvements to the car from 2021. It looks light, nimble through the corners, and also fast in a straight line. Surely we'll see both Ferrari drivers fighting for the victory in Bahrain this weekend. If not, they should be fighting for the podium. Let us know below who you think is the number 1 ranked team in F1 as we head into this weekend's Bahrain Grand Prix. Leave your comments below. Make sure to like this video video, and don't forget to subscribe to Crash F1 for more content.